Royal Ascot nearly upon us. Peter Thomas Fornatale in the Brooklyn bunker for now, but soon I'll be wearing an even sillier hat over in the Berkshire southwest of London, getting ready to get on this airplane. Before I did it, though, wanted to record a video about the win and you're in races for the Breeders' Cup that are going to be taking place at Ascot next week. I feel like these Breeders' Cup Challenge Series races, obvious in their importance, but what's really, I think, a good angle with them is they're a good way for American fans who are interested in international racing, who play the Breeders' Cup, obviously, to get a chance to enjoy this racing festival that may seem foreign to them in many other ways. To help give you that way in, we bring in one of our international experts, Michael Adolphson, back here on the In the Money airwaves. Michael, how are things?
Doing well. Still licking my wounds from Belmont. Other than
You
other
and me
than
both.
other than being blatantly aggressive about Reef Runner winning, I was happy about that. The track definitely played against Andre Fobb's horse in the Manhattan. But he also was a big giant turd on the day. He didn't really turn up at all. So. Yeah, I apologize for that single that turned into a big old regret.
Well, you weren't the only one. It was tricky. The good thing about horse racing, we always can turn our attention to what comes next. What's coming next right now is Royal Ascot. We've got a pair of win and you're in races on this Tuesday, and they don't mess around. There's no slow build at Royal Ascot. They start with the big stuff. Group 1, Queen Anne Stakes. We go a mile. 9:30 Eastern will be the timing on Tuesday. This is a win and you're in race for the Breeders' Cup Mile, and we've got an obvious Breeders' Cup tie-in, notable speech Breeders' Cup Mile winner coming back here and will be the favorite. But boy, there's plenty of interesting runners in here, including last year's winner Docklands, who we know loves it around Ascot. When it comes to this Queen Anne, who are you going to be backing?
I mean, it's a difficult race to pull apart because it looks too obvious. You have two Godolphin horses on top. I believe Opera Ballo is even rated a pound or two higher than his stablemate Notable Speech. And a lot of people think that he's actually got the upper hand in this race because of the pace scenario. There's very little pace expected in this run. Whenever you say that, that kind of goes out the window. But out of the two, I mean, it's really hard to select because there's two different dynamics, and you also have to worry about whether or not Charlie Appleby's been laying an egg over the last few years at Royal Ascot. And one thing that does come to mind in this race in particular is Modern Games really not showing up and kind of giving a ho-hum performance when he ran in the race. So if Modern Games, who draws a lot of parallels to Notable Speech, if that happens again, you're looking for a price to win on the day. And there's definitely one in More Thunder. I think that he's got every chance to step up in this race for William Haggis and Tom Marquand and Said Suhail. And this is a horse that had a nice prep, finishing second, I believe, behind Notable Speech last time in the Lock-In. He's a horse that showed his form last year at York. I think he'll handle Ascot on the day and the straight course and the rise. And yeah, I think he's got every chance to upset the apple cart.
Can't wait to see what happens in the Queen Anne Stakes. Won't have to wait too long until we get more win and you're in action on this Tuesday card. The King Charles III Stakes Group 1 action going the flying 5 furlongs is another one. Boy, another deep field. We've got a lot of entries to potentially go through here. I guess we should start by talking about the favorite.
Yeah, Overpass is really kind of an overbearing favorite, and the Australians have been really tough to beat. Bjorn Baker's a good trainer. He's a hilarious in the media, but kind of a trainer you want to be interviewed. But he is the horse to beat, and on his form and what we know about Australian form compared to UK form, and the fact that there's no UK or European stars right now in sprinting, some on the rise possibly, but they're going to have to prove it. Overpass is the one to beat. It's hard for me to see past him. I think 5-2 might be a bit of a gift at this point. And if you're looking for something in each way that you hope floats up from their current 10-1 mark, is Mission Central for Aidan O'Brien. It's a horse that ran well on this course, and we banked on him last year. And I just think he's a horse that you hope rises from 10 to 15, 16 to 1, and you either get an each way or you get bold and smack him on the face to win.
Let's see it. It's a win and you're in race for the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. We'll see who can punch their ticket as we finish up with the Tuesday win and you're in action. Next up, we turn our attention to Wednesday at Royal Ascot, and we've got the Prince of Wales's Stakes, Group 1 action, going 1.25 miles. Is this the race of the meeting, Michael?
It is, to me. A lot of people think that that's the St. James's Palace with, Talk of New York and the Guineas winners smashing together. But this is the one because of the class of horse and the sheer ratings of these horses. You have some super high class horses. Dari's the Arc winner, who's a rarity and an Arc winner who won the Arc while he was still getting better. That's what it appears to be. But he's taking on an ombudsman who had, to me, the perfect prep. A lot of people weren't impressed by it. But he lost the same prep last year and came up and ran a hole through the wind in this spot to sort of stamp himself as a serious horse. Al Macam comes out of a Group 1 win for Hussain Sheikh Ahmed in the Tattersall's Gold Cup in Ireland. Minnie Hawk crapped the bed that day, but she is still a force. We still don't know what her ability level is. And for me, the last one I mentioned that is kind of the X factor is whether or not Kalpana runs in this race. She has the option to skip Ascot completely and look at Group 1s against fillies, or kind of just aim toward the King George path, or she can throw her hat in the ring. And if she does, she's a big shot to win at a price in here. Kalpana is. She is very, very, very good and very, very good in this course. I think she wants 1.5 miles though, but you never know how the pace is going to go and how it might set up for her. In the end, I'm going to put her second if she does run, but I think she can win at 20-1 at a big price. And I'll put Ombudsman on top because he is just a beast right now. And this track suits him. The way he ran last year, he's an improved animal since then. And Dari's is going to have to prove it to me on this course. He might stomp a mud hole in Ombudsman, and that's fine with me. But Ombudsman is just so reliable and so good on this track. I cannot see past him.
Whoever wins books a berth in the Breeders' Cup Turf at Keeneland. We've got one more win and you're in race from Royal Ascot to talk about. We move to Saturday. You'll see some misinformation online about when this race is, but they've moved things around. The Norfolk Stakes Group 2 action going 5 furlongs for these juveniles will be taking place on Saturday. It is a win you're in for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. We should see some USA participation in here. I'll start by asking you this way. Does the U.S. have a chance to win this with Wes Ward's Easy Tina filly taking on the boys?
Not impossible. This race is really tricky sometimes because a lot of these 2-year-olds are either coming out of 5 furlong races or week 6 furlong races and haven't really, or they're either coming out of week 5 furlong races or coming out of 6 furlong races and dropping down. It's a tough race where you have to figure out how fit you're going to be against the very, very best. Because a lot of times the Norfolk is the aim of the best 2-year-old in the yard. That being said, I do think that Carry the Flag is leading the market right now. He's going to be very tough if he does go in the race. It's interesting that he and Great Barrier Reef are both listed as possibles in the race and at opposite prices. You're still at 4-1 on Carry the Flag, Great Barrier Reef at 10-1, but Great Barrier Reef beat Carry the Flag last time. So that's interesting to me. And in the end, I think Wathnon is going to be very, very tough in here. They've got a couple of horses that I would say are on the rise, coming out of weak races that they won, and that's kind of what you have. Archie Watson has one named Flight Signal who came out of at Bath. He just smashed them coming around the bend there, and I think that's one you got to look out for. And also Carl Burke has one in there that he thinks is going to be very, very good as well. It's right now it's hard to say because there's so many horses that are cross-entered, and at this time of the recording, we don't know who's going to go where. But I'd say look at Wathnon and look at Coolmore because those 2 yards are leading the way.
Stop me if you've heard this one. Yeah, Aidan O'Brien holding a strong hand in a big European group race. We'll see how that plays out on Saturday. Win and you're in action all week long at Royal Ascot. Make sure you catch the coverage over on NBC. Make sure you go to horseplayers.com and check out our In the Money Horse Players Tour games. Fridays, we have regular feeders into Saturday qualifying events for the $10,000 BCBC. That's the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge. Costs just $20 to play. The house cut goes to aftercare. And if you finish in the top 4 any of the games during our regular season, you advance to the playoffs, where another $10,000 BCBC seat will be awarded at no extra cost to players. Go to horseplayers.com and check that out. Thank you so much to Michael. Thanks to our friends at the Breeders' Cup. May you win all your Royal Ascot photos.